coming up on this edition of We Are Washington.
The Washington Nationals bring home their first championship title in franchise history. Plus, it's instilling the virtues of responsibility, service, and citizenship in young people.
So they go from being followers to leaders.
The Junior Reserve Officer Training Program at Columbia Heights Education Campus.
And honoring the memory of the godfather of go-go.
Chuck Brown was the inspiration of love.
We have the sights and sounds from the 5th annual Chuck Brown Day.
We have those stories coming up. The news rundown is straight ahead. We Are Washington starts now. Welcome to We Are Washington. I'm Matt Granato.
And I'm Cecily Fernandez. This week, we're talking about sports history as Nats fans get the season of their dreams with their first World Series win. But that's not all. The district is also planning to honor the Washington Mystics WNBA championship title. And an outstanding 7th grade teacher in D.C. is recognized with a big title of his own.
Then it's the inspiring story of a retired Marine officer who's transforming the lives of high school students with a program that emphasizes service and personal responsibility. We'll have those features coming up on the way, but now let's get to the news rundown.
In case you haven't heard, the Washington Nationals are your 2019 World Series champions.
After losing 3 games at home at Nationals Park, the team closed out 4 road wins against the Houston Astros, winning the first championship in franchise history. Fans in the district were electric as the World Series landed in the nation's capital for the first time in nearly 100 years.
The last time the Fall Classic was hosted in D.C., the 1933 World Series with the New York Giants beating the Washington Senators. The last time a championship team called D.C. home, also the Washington Senators following their 1924 defeat of the same New York Giants.
Good things come to those who wait. 95 years is a pretty long wait, but I'll tell you, this is worth the wait.
On behalf of 702,000 Washingtonians, our Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton, members of the D.C. Council, I want to congratulate the players, coaches, and owners and thank them for finishing the fight and bringing the World Series to D.C.
Steven Strasburg, who pitched games 2 and 6, was named World Series MVP.
Now, for full coverage of the Nationals Victory Parade, We Are Washington's got you covered here on DCN. You can also check out the Nationals Victory Parade anytime on our YouTube playlist. Search Entertain DC.
They ran it back and brought it home. The Washington Mystics are the 2019 WNBA champions. Fans gathered to celebrate the Washington Mystics at a rally at the Entertainment and Sports Arena in Ward 8. The championship win is a first for the franchise.
This group does not care at all who gets the credit. It's about team, it's about winning, and it's fun. We play like we're kids. So this has been the joy and the ride of a lifetime, and let's keep this thing going.
The mayor will co-host a championship parade for the Mystics in the spring of 2020.
Preliminary enrollment numbers indicate that more district families are choosing to send their kids to D.C. public schools. Mayor Muriel Bowser announced that for the 11th consecutive year, enrollment numbers continue to rise in the city's public schools.
For the 11th consecutive year, I am proud to announce student enrollment is up in our public schools. We have more than 94,000 students, 94,603 to be exact, in our public schools. That is a 1.7% increase over last year.
The highly anticipated redevelopment of the historic Greinke School campus is underway in the heart of the U Street Arts District.
The mixed-use project will create a permanent home for the African American Civil War Museum, along with bringing affordable housing units to Ward 1.
The African American Civil War Museum will have a new home. In addition to that, we are going to have almost 70 units of more housing and an increased target for affordability.
Mayor Bowser says the redevelopment project showcases how we can build more affordable housing and create more jobs in a way that preserves history.
The Smithsonian Anacostia Community Museum has reopened following a 7-month-long renovation project. The museum was established in 1967 near Fort Ricketts in Southeast. The $4.5 million renovation was designed to improve accessibility, lighting, and other features. The first exhibit at the reopened museum is called A Right to the City. It portrays how the district has transformed over the past 50 years.
Making the future of work inclusive in the district was a topic of a conference at the Eaton Hotel. Mayor Bowser spoke about her administration's commitment to working with public and private sector partners to prepare D.C. residents for the future of work in D.C. and discussed how the district has evolved beyond simply a government town.
Catholic Charities is set to make history in D.C. with the largest ground-based solar project to date in the city. Archbishop Wilton Gregory blessed a solar array of more than 5,000 panels that are being installed on 5 acres in northeast D.C. The Catholic Charities solar power system is projected to generate 2.7 million kilowatt hours per year, enough to power roughly 260 homes.
It's a great expression of the collaborative spirit that is obviously present in this local church, where the church, industry, the political, and the social leadership come together to make a dream possible, and that's what we're celebrating.
The solar project sits on land surrounding the Missionaries of Charity's Gift of Peace home and comes in response to a plea by Pope Francis for the church to care for the environment. The solar array is expected to save the Catholic Charities about $250,000 in annual energy costs. The district is making a commitment to help provide safe, clean drinking water. Mayor Bowser is announcing a new $1.8 million investment to help eligible residents replace older lead water pipes. Despite the city replacing lead water pipes under city streets on the public side, there are still property owners with lead pipes remaining on the private side of the property. The program will provide anywhere from 50% to 100% of the cost of replacement based on income, household size, and estimated cost. To find out if you might be affected, visit dcwater.com/leadmap.
Students at Capital City Public Charter School erupted in cheers as they learned that one of their teachers is the winner of the 2020 DC Teacher of the Year Award.
I want to introduce you to DC's Teacher of the Year, Mr. Lopez Cardozi.
7th grade life science teacher Justin Lopez Cardozi was selected for the prestigious honor, which is given annually to a public or public charter school teacher in the district who demonstrates outstanding leadership and commitment to student achievement.
This is an achievement that I share with each and every one of you in this room because everyone in here has taught me something.
The award comes with a cash prize of $7,500 and a chance to compete for the National Teacher of the Year Award. Lopez Cardozi has taught at Capital City Public Charter School for the past 3 years, where he holds several leadership roles.
All right, busy show today, but let's recap some of the top stories we're talking about. If DC keeps adding trophies to the trophy case, we're going to need to get a bigger trophy case.
You know, what a time to be a resident of the District of Columbia.
Right, I know. You know, last year we had the Stanley Cup championship. Sure. This year, WNBA championship. Also the World Series. I mean, we're quickly checking off all the boxes when it comes to professional sports here in town.
Yeah,
right?
Not a lot left. And I feel that I remember when Mayor Bowser made that statement that we were making DC the sports capital of the world. It sounded a little, it sounded like a big dream.
Pie in the sky, but here we are.
Not sounding so much like a dream. It's sounding much more like a reality.
That's right. Okay, also moving on. Next story is the Catholic Charities Solar Project, historic project. Community Solar is involved. We know that the district has been working a lot with Community Solar and getting more solar panels placed out in the rooftops of homes for residents across DC. But this is a big project because it's going to power all 12 Catholic Charity sites across the city.
And I would imagine there are a lot of organizations who are looking at this project And,
Sure.
and this is a great example of what can be done. I also loved, not often you get to see a bunch of solar panels getting blessed. Right?
I know. That was an interesting look. That was very cool to see. Finally today, the 2020 Teacher of the Year. I always love this story because the teachers are always surprised in some way, shape, or form.
You do see a kind of an outpouring of love that the students have for their teacher. I want to say one thing. He really scored a lot of points with me, Teacher of the Year for 2020. The first thing he did was he thanked his mom.
Oh, yeah.
I said, yeah, this guy's a winner.
You have to thank Mom
yes.
first. That's right. All right, well, still to come, citizenship, service, and personal responsibility. After the break, meet the future generation of leaders.
And a little later, there's no better site than Chuck Brown Memorial Park for a celebration of life in the name of the godfather of go-go. If you miss the event, you won't want to miss this.
Welcome back. There are plenty of programs across schools in the district that enrich students' experience and add to their education. But there are few that offer the lessons in discipline and leadership like the Junior Reserve Officer Training at Columbia Heights Education Campus.
Students who participate are trading in their free time with friends and starting their day before the first bell rings, building the foundations of citizenship, service, and responsibility.
It is one of the most demanding and rewarding leadership programs for high school students that exists.
What we're trying to accomplish is develop our young people into the leaders of tomorrow.
And the Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps at Columbia Heights Education Campus is achieving that mission by providing experiences to build leadership, patriotism, and citizenship today.
Right. Face.
Students are just embarking on their military experience, but for Major Luke Wright, it was his time serving the United States that inspired the next phase of his life.
Retired from the Marine Corps after 22 years in 2015, and I made a promise to my dad to give back.
ROTC is a program offered at thousands of colleges across the country. But in this junior program, the Wright candidates are making this training part of their high school curriculum.
One of the key characteristics that I'm looking for is integrity. We need to be able to trust the candidates in and outside of school. We're giving them the responsibility to lead and develop other students.
Candidates challenge themselves physically and mentally, often before or after class, in order to earn experience and rank, a characteristic that sets these students apart.
I take a zero period, which is I come before school even starts, and it's like a class.
These challenges all a part of building team and family.
When you join, you see that it's kind of like a family, and you actually build relationships and get more leadership skills.
Throughout the years in the JROTC program, they become more focused. They begin as followers, and throughout the semesters, they become leaders.
Seeing and hearing from students involved in JROTC is often what makes their peers aware of these opportunities.
I was walking in the hallways, I just saw cadets wearing their uniform, and I was like, oh, I like the uniform. I like how they walk, they were like working sharp, so I said, I want to join them.
Students quickly learn the commitment is about much more than simply lining up in formation or keeping one's uniform crisp.
We do drill, which is marching, and also we do PFT, which is every Friday. So we go out running, we do like physical exercises that gets us prepared for our exam at the end. And also we do a couple of like leadership lessons or like just learning like history.
And a distinct advantage to living in the nation's capital is that history is just outside the front door.
Yes, it is an awesome experience. Where else can you just leave the classroom and jump on the subway and go to the Capitol or visit a statue or anything dealing with the process and rich history of the United States?
And while cadets learn about history, Junior Reserve Officer Training also has them considering their futures.
Is that understood?
Yes, ma'am! You will be challenged within the JROTC program, but you will get exactly what you're looking for. You'll be prepared to face the challenges that you will find in the future.
You might think JROTC is about preparing students for military careers, but it's really about teaching lifelong skills that allow students to thrive no matter their chosen path.
Well, I definitely would like to join the military, so I'm honestly looking at the Naval Academy, West Point.
After I graduate from high school, I want to go first to college.
I want to be a photographer because I like to take pictures, but I think the Junior ROTC would help me because if I am like confident of myself, I would do it.
There's no other program within the public school system that will prepare a student to become a leader like the JROTC programs. We are dedicated to developing our students.
Coming up next, faithful fans of the Godfather of Go-Go come together to celebrate the life and legacy of the one and only Chuck Brown.
Welcome back to We Are Washington. We're here at Chuck Brown Day. I'm cooking with Eddie right now. We got burgers on the grill. He came out here because he wants to enjoy the day with everybody else that's out here from D.C.
I'm from the neighborhood of Brentwood, so we come down here every year. It's a bunch of us that get together, and it's a nice atmosphere. Everybody, enjoys themselves.
We're here to celebrate Chuck Brown Day. He is the father. He is the father. Godfather.
I had the opportunity to hang out with the Washingtonians, and I love it.
Chuck Brown basically started Go-Go, if you want to say it. He's the godfather of Go-Go, so everybody loves Go-Go.
Chuck Brown was the inspiration of love, community, fellowship, and that's that, man. The music is all great, but he meant so much more to DC than just the music.
There's a lot of things Chuck did for the community. He didn't want nobody to know.
This is a blessing that we get to come out to celebrate his birthday and celebrate his legacy.
We have to preserve our history and celebrate our history. Long live Go-Go music!
Go-Go music is a DC thing. The music is full of drums, guitars. It just has that go-go swing. And if you can't dig with the go-go swing, baby, you lost.
They got to come and see it live, and once they see it, they'll come back.
It's DC native. If you know DC, you know Go-Go.
It's Chuck Brown, man. Chuck loved us, so we love him back.
There's no fights, no cussing nobody out, no nothing out here but love.
The camaraderie, the vendors, just the whole flow. I am in love with this.
Having a good time, dancing to the music, reminiscing.
But Chuck Brown is our groove.
Coming together, celebration, that we can do it in peace, we can do it in harmony.
He is the godfather of soul. Rest in peace, Chuck, because I love you always.
Enjoy your Chuck Brown Day.
Every year, we're so fortunate that we have the Washington International Horse Show, which is really fun because it's right downtown, Capital One Arena this year. They've been doing this since 1958. A lot of people love it. It's a great opportunity to just see some great riders. We love the Mounted Police Unit. We did a story on them a couple of years ago. And what's been really interesting to see is there have been a lot more women who have joined the Mounted Police Unit. And at this breakfast with the Mounted Police, which took place right on the streets of downtown DC, I spoke to some of the women. They love this job. Take a listen.
Well, I loved it. It was my dream job, so I joined Park Place for the horses. So every day's a good day.
They really like to engage with the public. Part of what they do is that kind of civic engagement, and kids love it. But there was a big bonus at the breakfast in downtown DC because also the Peeps Foundation, which is a great organization out of Lexington, Kentucky, they were there with rescue miniature horses.
You can rescue miniature horses?
There is an organization that rescues miniature horses and then gets them adopted. A lot of them have some issues, so they take really good care of them. What I didn't know is that these miniature horses are very loving in nature,
Okay.
so they make great comfort pets, especially for people who are allergic to dogs. So, you know, of course, my little brain it starts thinking about how I can possibly get a miniature horse into my life.
Oh my God.
But
Oh my gosh.
everybody had a good time with that, and it was so nice to see people on their way to work, stopping and, you know, getting to pet the miniature horses that were lovely. It's a Peeps Foundation in case you want to look them up and try and get your own miniature
And
horse.
bring home your own miniature
Exactly,
horse.
yes.
Yeah, I see that every time they had the horse show downtown. They shut off a couple of the streets around the Capital One arena. They shut off some of the streets, and you see the horses hanging out outside there. So it's always kind of funny in the middle of a city to see horses just kind of grazing about, you know, and taking it easy in the middle of the city. So, all right, very cool story. That is all the time that we have for today. But we'd like to remind you that we have shows, we have features, we have victory parades, we have just about everything you can imagine under our YouTube page, our playlist, Entertain DC. Search for us. You can go check out all the We Are Washington you want to see or would ever care to see just by going there.
See you next time.